Hi, today we'll solve systems of linear equations by elimination. If I have this question, Peter spent $5.26 on some apples priced at 0.64 each and some pears priced at $0.45 each. At another store, he could have bought the same number of apples at $0.32 each and the same number of pears at $0.39 each for a total cost of $3.62. How many apples and how many pears did Peter buy? Now, if I look here, I have apples and I have pears. Now, the first one mentioned, which is apples, I will call it X. So, apples, I can call it X, or I can call it by A, the first letter in apples. And the second one mentioned, which is pears, I will call it by Y. So apples is related to X and pears is related to Y. How many apples and how many pears is the question? Meaning he needs what is X and what is Y. Now, if I need to solve this question, I have to make my system of equations. Now, Peter spent 5.26 on the apples. The apples are priced at 0.64 each. So it will be 0.64x because the price of apples, which I call it X, is 0.64. And some pears priced at 0.45 each. So the price of pears, which is 0.45, and I call it already Y. So plus 0.45 Y equal the total amount that he paid. He spent how much in the beginning? He spent this is the total amount he spent, $5.26. Now this was in the first shop. Then he went to another store. And then he could buy the same number of apples at 0.32. So in the second one, he bought it with 0.32x, because this is for apples, plus the pears, which is the 0.39 plus 0.39y, equal the total amount that he paid already. He paid a total of he said here that he bought this amount of apples and pears for a total cost of 3.62. So I will write 3.62. Now I have to solve the system of linear equations, and I need to solve them in this question by elimination. Now, if I need to solve by elimination, I have to look at the X or the Y. I have to make either the X the same coefficient or the Y, I have to make them the same coefficient so that I can eliminate one of them either by adding or by subtracting. As long as we have here same signs, of course we will use subtracting. Now, the first thing I have to do, I have to get rid of the decimals because it's really hard to work with these decimals. It's easier to work without decimals. So if I go and I multiply the first and the second equation by 100, this will help me to get rid of all the decimals because all the decimals will move to the right, and I actually need to move 2 places in all of them so that I can get rid of the decimals, especially when I deal with X and Y. So if I will multiply the first equation by 100, it will become 64x plus 45y equal 526, which is much more easier to work with. And if I multiply the second equation also by 100, it will become 32x plus 39y equal 362. Now the equations are much easier to work with. Now I will look, I need to change either the coefficient of x or y to become the same so that I can eliminate either x or y. It's easier for me to eliminate the x. And as we can see, the lowest common multiple in the x is 64. Because 64, if I here this is 64, and in the second one, if I multiply the second equation all by 2, then this 2 will be multiplied to each one of them. If I multiply 2 times 32, it will become also 64. So it will become the same as the first one. So I will eliminate the x. This is the best thing to do here. So if I change like now if I change, the first one will keep the same. It did not change. 64x plus 45y equal 526. Now for the second one, it will be changed. I will multiply 2 for each one of them. 2 times 32x will give me 64x plus 2 times 39, I can multiply it here even, times 2. This will give me 18. 2 times, this is 78. So plus 78y equal, I have to multiply the 2 by 362. If I multiply 2 times 362, this will give me 4, this will give me 12, 2 times 3, 6, and 1 will give me 7, so it's 724. Now I have my two equations here. What I have to do now, I have to solve these two equations. To eliminate x, then I can solve for y. If I need to eliminate x, of course, here I have the same coefficient. Now I can eliminate. And I will use subtraction so that I can eliminate the x. If I use subtraction here, I will have to change all the signs of this second equation. This will become negative, and this will become negative now, and this will become negative. Now I will complete my solution here. Now, if I need to solve this one now, I will subtract 64 minus 64x, they will cancel each other. Now 45 minus 78, different signs I will subtract and they will take the sign of the big number, it will become negative. Now 78 minus 45, it will give me here 33y. So it's negative 33y equal. Now I have to subtract 724 from 526. Now, and the sign of course will be negative because different signs and they will take the sign of the big, the answer will be negative here. Now I'll subtract, this will become 14, this will become now 1, and this will take 1 again, this will become 6. This will give me 8, this will give me 9, and this will give me 1, which is 198 here. Now I need to isolate y, so I have to divide both sides by negative 33. Now I will erase all this. Now I can solve this even by long division. Now these will cancel. Y equal, of course the answer will be positive, and this is normal because this is real life. The answer should be positive. How many apples? It should be a positive number. Then I will do the division. 198 divided by 33. Now 1 divided by 33 is 0. 19 divided by 33 is also 0. Now 198 divided by 33, you can hide 1 here and 1 here. Then it will be 19 divided by 3. I go down till 18 divided by 3, which will give me 6. 6 times the 3, which is 18, and the 1 is here. 6 times the 3, 18, and 1 is 19. So the answer is actually 6. So y is equal to 6. 6 what? I will erase all these now. I did them. Y is related to what? From the beginning we said y is related to the number of pears, because we said in the beginning apple we will call it x and pears will call it y, because apple was mentioned first, or apples were mentioned first, so this is x, and pears were mentioned second, and these are y. So I have y, which is 6 pears. Now it's very easy to find now x. I can replace. Don't replace in the decimal one, replace here after you change it. You can either replace on the first or the second. You can replace in either of them. I will replace in the second. Now 32x plus 39y equal 362. Now I will replace the y, which is 6. So 32x plus 39 times 6 equal 362. Now 39 times 6 I have to multiply. So I will go and do it here, for example. 39 times 6. 6 times 9, which is 54. 6 times 3, 18. Plus 5 will give me 23. Now 234. So 32x plus 234 equal 362. Now I have to move this one to the other side to combine the like terms. So it will become 32x equal 362 minus 234. This is positive, will go negative. So 32x equal, if I subtract these two together, I can subtract at any place. Let me do it here. Then I will subtract 362 minus 234. This will become 12, this will become 5. Now 12 minus 4, which is 8, 5 minus 3, which is 2, and 3 minus 2, which is 1. So 128, I will write it here. Now I need to isolate x, so I will divide both sides by 32, divide here by 32. Now 128 divided by 32, I can do it even here. I will erase this. So I will divide 128 divided by 32. Now 1 divided by 32 is 0. 12 divided by 32 is also 0. Now 128, I can divide it. I will hide the 8 and the 2. 12 divided by 3, which is 4. 4 times 2, which is 8. 4 times 3, which is 12. It's already done. So the answer is how much? 4. So I will go and write here x is equal to 4 apples. So like this, I found the x, and like this, I found the y. I have 6 pears and I have 4 apples. This is my whole question. Thank you.